Hi guys, so welcome to this question, and I hope you have watched the previous video. If you haven't, if you still have doubts after this question, you can go back and watch that. But I'll try and cover everything in this video so that because with the sums and with the numbers, it's easier, and I think this will obviously help a lot more because this is how you have to do it. So obviously, I've taken like I've done the question in like physical format because tomorrow you have to do it in this way. And you have done it in Excel, so there's no point in showing the Excel. I thought if I show you step by step how to do it in pen and paper, it'll be more easier. Now let's get started because time is less, I know, and let's get started. Okay, so this is a question that I've taken from I think class 12 book or something, NCRT. So I'll just maximize the screen and explain the question once, then I'll split the screen and show you guys. Okay, so it's a balance sheet of Osborne Mills, and they have given us a balance sheet. So there's a firstly balance sheet, then there's a notes to account. So this here they've given us notes, and these are the notes to that line item. Then you have the statement of profit and loss account. So they have given us balance sheet and profit and loss account, and on the basis of that, you have to make the cash flow statement. Okay, um, and there are two additional information. So how I approach this is generally when I get any kind of uh, one second, draw highlight. Okay, am I able to highlight? Okay, okay. So whenever there is any kind of additional information, I always mark the place where that additional information was. So for example, here it says out of fixed assets, land worth 1000 lakhs was sold. So it relates to fixed asset. So what I'll do is in my fixed asset, I'll just mark it over here that I have a note. So in physical paper, I generally write the note number, but okay, whenever I read this, I remember that, okay, fixed asset mein kuch to tha. Okay, and then dividend paid. So dividend paid, I don't think there was any dividend treatment, so it's easier sum because there is no dividend calculation. So whenever I do fixed asset, I have to remember that there's something related to that over here. Okay, now where do you start from? So this is the entire question. Let me zoom out. So this is the entire question. You have a balance sheet and a profit and loss. Where do you actually start from in the cash flow statement? So you have to make the cash flow statement on the basis of indirect method. So for the indirect method, as I told you first, what I do generally is, let me split the screen again. Okay, what I generally do is firstly make this format. So I've given you the format. Let me see if I can split it a little better so you can see the entire thing. Okay, so one second. Yeah, now it's better. So firstly, what I do is I make this format where I don't do it such thin cash flow statement, because what will happen is that you'll not be able to write the entire narration over there and you'll confuse yourself. Okay, so I'm just showing it because I wanted it to be on the same page. um, so what I'll do is I'll make this cash flow statement. I'll put cash flow from operating activities on top. This is a major thing that will happen, so leave like almost, I would say, half the page for this one. Then cash flow from investing activities, cash flow from financing activities, and this net cash flow thing. These are all like three parts. So half of the page is this part, this, and then one third, one third, one third. Okay. So that's where you do invest cash flow from investing activities, cash flow from financing activities. I've written the abbreviation because it's too thin to do that. Okay. Now the total of the cash flow from operating activities, financing activities, and investing activities, the total cash flow, if you add the opening cash balance and then this plus this would be this. Okay, now I have here. Another important thing when you're doing a cash flow, one second, I'll let this bar go away. Okay, let me zoom it like this. So you see over here that this is 2017 and 16. Sometimes what happens is we see this share capital and you think, okay, earlier it was 1300, it then become 1400, so 100 rupees share capital has increased, which is not the case. You see this part, okay, 2017 and 2016. So it's basically like this. So always be sure that what way it is, because sometimes they confuse you by doing this. Okay, so it's basically, this is the older one and this is the newer one. So first, firstly, what I'll do is I'll add the cash and cash equivalent. So 1200 is over here and 800 is over here. So earlier it was 800, and then 400 ka cash flow was there in this year, and it became 1200. So here I'll add 800, here I'll add 1200. And net cash flow I can see from here. See, cash and cash equivalent changes 400. So firstly, that is what I'll do. See, 800, 1200 and 400. So I know कि मुझे all the three का total I need to make it 400. Okay, that is a very big relief, because that is the best thing about cash flow statement, is that you know the answer पहले from the balance sheet. So this is where you start from. You know the answer is going to be 400. Now, where next place you start from is from the bottom of the balance sheet. Okay, so from the bottom of the balance sheet, first line item is profit before taxation and extraordinary items. So to calculate this one, what you do is you start from the PAT. PAT is given over here. So 700 is your PAT plus tax. So 1000 tax is here. So you get profit before tax. Okay, I'm just going in the reverse order. Then loss due to earthquake. So loss due to earthquake is something that is not a operating activities, or like it's a very extraordinary item. So what you do is add this back. So um, so basically, why we are adding this back is 700 is my profit after tax, but these are not items. So 1100 is a loss due to an earthquake, which was not my operating expense. So I need to find out what is my cash generated from operations. I won't be, it will not give me an accurate figure if it's less by 1100. So I have to add this back. So that's why I've added, so I've changed that, it's 1100. So you can see here, I've changed it 1100. So 1700 plus 1100, 2800, and you put this here. So that's my first line item. Now, another thing is, remember how we broke down the operating activities in three brackets. So first you start with this one, then there is a non-cash, non-operating item, and working capital changes. Okay, so you are adding tax over here and earthquake over here. So you reduce that from in the end, because ultimately profit is inflated by that amount. So you have to reduce that amount. So tax and any kind of a extraordinary item, that will be reduced. So 1000 and 1100. Okay, that is the step 2 that you do. Now step 3, a lot of things have happened, so I'll just go a little slow. We how are proceeding? We are proceeding in this order only. Okay, we started from here, started from the bottom, now here. Okay, so started from here, and then added the tax, added the loss due to earthquake. Now depreciation we have added it back, because depreciation is my change in my fixed asset. So that any kind of increase due to depreciation will impact my fixed asset, and will come into my cash flow from investing activity. So from operating activities, I'll add it back. So these are the things. Any kind of expense is always is decreased from the profit, so we are adding that back. So depreciation is added back. Finance cost. So finance cost 200. Finance cost is, when you pay finance cost, is when you uh, borrow money and you pay the interest on that money. So that is finance cost. So any borrowing is my cash flow from financing activities. So that's why I am reducing that from my operating activities. So here I've again added back this interest portion or finance cost, whatever you call it. So I've reduced that. I'm sorry, I've added that over here, and I've reduced that from cash from financing. Why reduce? Because when I pay interest, my cash goes out. Okay, so that's why it reduced from here and added it back over here. Employee benefit expenses. So an employee benefit expenses is my operating activities, because that is directly related to my um, operations, my salaries, my wages, my administrative expenses, anything like that will stay. No change will be made because of that. Okay, so I've taken care of these. Cost of material consumed. Cost of material consumed is also related to my operating activities, because that is the material that I'm consuming. So there's no changes in these two. Okay. Um, then total revenue, and then other income. Now, what happens with other income is that other income, this dividend income, is because I've invested somewhere, and from that investment I'm getting dividend. So I've invested in shares, and from there I've got dividend. So because I'm getting dividend, so this is my investment activities. Okay, so cash flow from investment activity. So I'll add my dividend income over here, and I'll reduce that dividend from here. So dividend income I'm reducing from here. Okay, so my statement of profit and loss account is completed. Got it? Now again, I'm going in the reverse order. Now I have two notes to accounts. One is your share capital. So let's do the share capital first. What share capital is saying is that 100 share capital is reducing. So here it's giving me the note that equity share capital is the same. It was 1000, it's still 1000. So there's no change in equity share capital. So nothing will happen for that. Preference share capital is actually reducing by 100. Okay, so because my preference share capital is reducing by 100 over here, so what I'll do is my preferential capital is reducing by 100. So my preferential capital is my investing activities. Sorry, financing activities. Financing activities. So I'll add it over here. So you can see redemption of preferential capital 100. Okay. Um, so that's the first thing taken care of. So share capital done. Reserves and surplus 700 we've already taken. Reserves and surplus will not have an impact because we have started with profit and loss account. Okay, so this will not have an impact. This is done. Current liability is my working capital changes, so we'll come to that later. Or in fact, you can do it right away. Okay, so share capital done, this one done. Current liability. Current liability, what did I tell you? So any current liability is proportional to proportional to cash flow. So there's a 400 rupees reduction in the short-term borrowings. So any reduction in short-term borrowings would lead to um, short-term borrowings is reducing means I have repaid that money. So it's a cash outflow. And short-term borrowings is an investment activity. So I put it over here 400 short-term borrowings, 400 reduced. Um, trade payables of 100. So in trade payables is increasing by 100. My current liability is increasing by 100. That means my cash outflow, cash flow will also increase by 100. So here trade payables is increasing by 100. Inventories. Achala, let me go one by one. Um, okay, so these are done. Equity and liability is done. Asset. Now within asset, fixed asset, there's a note. Okay, so in the note they have given 3600 and initial balance was 3400, closing balance is 3600. So here 3400, 3600, and accumulated depreciation was 12,000 and 1200. I hope everyone is getting it. Like I'm just getting worried that people might not be understanding and being like, क्या बोल रहा है ये, like exam से एक दिन पहले ये क्या कर रहा है. So I just hope that that's not happening. That's why I'm a little like concerned. But I hope people are getting it. If you're not getting it, then maybe I'll do another easier example. But let's focus and complete this one. Okay. So depreciation is increasing by 200, and also remember we had marked it as there's a note. The note said that out of the fixed asset, land worth 1000 lakhs was sold. So out of the fixed asset, so 1000 lakhs of land was sold. So out of 3400, 1000 ka land I've sold, and my balance is 3600. So ultimately I must have purchased 1200 ka kuch. So these are the two things that will go in my cash flow statement: sale of land and purchase of fixed asset. Sale of land 1000. So because when I sell something, I get money. So that's why 1000 plus. And purchase of fixed asset is negative because you purchase, so you pay cash. So one second. Yeah. So you purchase, so you pay cash. So that's minus 1200 over here. So fixed asset, I've taken care of it. Non-current investments. So non-current investments are increasing by 100. So I have purchased investments. So purchase investment is again cash outflow. So I've taken it over here. Inventories is my current asset. So current asset is decreasing means cash flow will increase. So positive change. So 100 rupees ka decline will increase a 100 rupees ka increase over here. Inventory done. Trade receivables is also decreasing by 100. So trade receivables increasing by 100 will make my cash flow increase by 100. Cash and cash equivalent, so वही चीज है, like that is the entire thing that we are checking. So no, nothing to be done for cash and cash equivalent. Short term loans and advances, no change. So this is also done. So ultimately this is also done, this is also done, and we ultimately have finished the entire cash flow. Okay, so I'll just go through the cash flow once because we've done it. Profit before tax and extraordinary items, this is how we calculated it. Okay, then you add the non-cash and non-operating expenses, these things. Non-cash non-operating expenses are those things. So always remember, you start from the balance, from the profit and loss account, and go in the reverse order, and that's how you will get most of the items. Okay, anything related to administrative or operating things, that will remain. Anything else will get added back. And like basically what you're doing is depreciation, you're removing it from here and putting it over here. So depreciation actually is, in this question there was no treatment, because here you reduced it and put it, and that's the difference that is was. So depreciation was the easy thing over here, so that's why there's no impact. You just add it back over here. For finance activities, you add it back over here and reducing over here 200 interest. Okay, so just go in the reverse order, and then non-cash non-operating हो गया. उसके बाद working capital changes, this one I've explained. Current asset is reverse and current liability is the same way. So if there's increase in current liability, that will increase your cash flow. If there is a reduction in current asset, it will increase your cash flow. So this one, I think you get it. Tax then these are the tax, you reduce the tax, and any kind of extraordinary item you just reduce it, because 2500 is your cash generated from operations, but itna loss hua tha, so 400 is your net cash flow from operating activities. Then sale of land, purchase of fixed assets, purchase of investments, and dividend income, these are over here. This is 700. Cash, so any positive value is a cash inflow, and then over here cash outflow is there. Redemption of preference share capital, repayment of short-term borrowings, and interest on loan. So interest paid, so all of these are cash outflows. So once you add these things up, so 400, 700 and 700, so you get 400, and then you add the operating. So this one, so you had started from the beginning only, you knew this. Okay, so just you have to make sure these tally. These two are easy. So whenever you start the question, make sure these two tally, and then you can just work on this part. Okay. One second. Don't worry, guys. I'm not crying. It's just that I've got a cold and whatever. And yeah, I don't really like cash flow, so that's why I've been deferring making this video for a long time. But ultimately, I had to make it. Hopefully, you guys understood the thing. I'll put the put this question and the solution in the description. But honestly, like, just go back and watch it, because I think there's another video that I made just before this. If you have not watched that, I'll put it over here. So that explains the cash flow statement as a whole. So if you don't get this part, maybe you'll like watching both the videos will give you a clarity. I don't know how much long the video is, and even if you will get time before the exam, but hopefully this helps. uh, I should have probably made this video a little while back, but anyways, there's no point in talking now. uh, watch the video, and best of luck for the exam. And yeah, otherwise I'm there. So any doubts, you can always just ping me and I'll help you with the doubt. Just don't ping me during the exam. Yeah, so best of luck, guys, and meet you in term 2 with more videos. I'm sorry this video was a little like uh, I'm not really proud of the video, but I don't have time to re-record this. um, चलेगा ठीक है. I'll make better videos on cash flow and upload it later. Okay. So hit the like. कोई नहीं है अभी, like everyone must have left. Okay, bye bye.